First, we got to start right with the big game of the day, right? Eagles-Chiefs, the matchup, the rematch of the Super Bowl. Week 2, we know the Chiefs didn't look great week 1, even though they hung in there. The Eagles win that game on the kickoff game that we were at that had the rain delay.
Started off, though. Like, we talked a lot about this.
We talked a lot.
You're a former quarterback, offensive guy. When you watch the Chiefs' offense, like, what's the first thought?
I'm not impressed. I haven't been impressed for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a while. And again, I took a lot of flack for making Mahomes 4, and then I go to quarterback rankings, and trust me, that was one of the hardest things ever because he's literally one of the greatest of all time. I get that. But, yeah, the offense, some of him, we're not impressed. I'm not impressed by the schematics of the offense right now. And again, I don't know if I've ever been totally just amazed by it, but I think when you lose a Rashee Rice, no Xavier Worthy, you can't run the football, and Travis Kelce's getting older, it starts to show itself more. And we sat there today going, man, no separation from receivers. They have a hard time finding big plays down the football field. They have a hard time with the offense just delivering plays in general. I think through 2 weeks, it's just been Patrick Mahomes' backyard plays have been the big plays for that offense, and that's just not sustainable for them to be a real powerhouse in the AFC.
And I agree with you. And I think when you say that schematically it's not impressing you, I think of all the great matchups I had against Andy Reid when he was in Kansas City. And it was, Damian Williams is a running back that a lot of people are not going to say, oh, yeah, he was a big-time running back, but he was a pass catcher.
Yes,
we played him in the AFC Championship. We're shutting him down in the first half. The second half, he scores, I think, 3 touchdowns because they say, you know what? We like our running back on their linebacker matchups. And I think that's Andy Reid's specialty.
Right.
How do I before it was Tyreek Hill, how do I get him in a position they can't jam him, they can't double him. Now he gets to run, this
post corner or whatever, something
gets to
like
do
that.
something.
Right.
Their problem right now is they don't really have the guys that I think Andy Reid can sit in there on a Monday night
game plan around.
And game plan and devise a scheme. Before it was, how do we get Travis Kelce on a corner and then use his size? How do we get him on a linebacker to use his quickness? They don't have those matchups as much, and I think they're trying. You saw Tyquan Thornton. Mahomes missed him one time on a deep ball, connected on another touchdown. I think they're trying to use him that way, but Xavier Worthy being out, Rashee Rice being out, that's hurting them. But I'm sitting here like, when those 2 guys come back, does that make them like
I know. Right.
Unstoppable offense?
I don't know if I'm sold on that either.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on that either. I think the first thing we're talking about, and I know you know this and anybody, and then we've said this on the pod here before, you got to be great at something. You got to have something that the other team goes, oh, man, we have to adjust the way we play a little bit, right? You know that. And then when that defense adjusts how they play to take away that one something,
hit them with something
then
else.
Something else comes. I mean, of course, in the New England and Brady through the years, you guys were amazing at that. Oh, here's Edelman over the middle. Here's Edelman over the middle. Oh, you want to get over Edelman? Oh, there goes Gronk down the seam, right? So there's a theme or a formula there that they are missing, certainly. And I think we can even flip that to the defensive side of the ball, too. Because the last year, the year before, we weren't sitting here waxing poetically about the Chiefs' offense. We've had concerns. They've been a defensive team for 2 or 3 years now. That's what we've been trying to tell people. But within that, in the defensive team, the year they beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl, it's L'Jarius Sneed, and they got all of these kind of people making plays. Chris Jones is in the prime of his career, dominating still. Last year, it fell off a little bit, but still made plays. This year, we haven't seen the defense really make any plays either. So it's a full organizational thing right now working in Kansas City.
Yeah, and I think if you remember, when they did have Snead and they had McDuffie, a lot of the talk was like the pass rush is just okay, but it allowed Spags to be super creative.
Yes.
Because he had these 2 guys that whenever they matched up against teams, like in the Super Bowl, it was Ayuk, it was Debo saying, all right, you take him. And we go play, and we can run these exotic blitzes. We can do different things. Then we can sit in cover 2. We could balance off how much man you played and how much we could sit in zone. You lose Snead. Now you have McDuffie, who you like, but that next guy you're not completely sure about. And, we don't have this dominant pass rusher. Karlaftis is a good player.
Yeah, right.
He's a good rusher. I'm not saying
no
he's
doubt
bad,
about it. I hear you.
But,
you're not game planning double him every play, every third down.
When you turn on the game Thursday night and Micah Parsons is out there, that's a difference maker. No matter who he rushes over, they don't have that. So it's going to be interesting where they find the answers, because I think we all believe that the Chiefs can find ways to win. But the truth of the matter in the NFL is at some point you have to go do that.
Yeah.
And now we're 2 weeks in. You play the Giants Sunday night. If you don't get it done then, now you're starting behind the 8. Now you're 3 games behind. And now you're going to play the Chargers in your division. Okay, they're playing pretty good ball. Denver, they lost today, but they're going to be good. Like, these other teams are going to be there.
Yeah.
You don't want to start falling games behind.
I'm a little concerned. I'm not going to lie. It doesn't pass the eye test so far.
Yes,
there was moments in both games where I go, it just doesn't look right, or the other team has moments of controlling them a little bit. That's where I worry about them. Like we said, I got to see some of these answers. I don't know what it's going to be. And, you know, the other thing, too, that I know we hit on a lot during our Football Night in America show is Patrick Mahomes can't double the next running back in rushing yards 2 games in a row. I mean, double the next guy. I mean, today it was 65. I think the nearest running back had 31. Last week it was 57, and I think the nearest running back had like in the 20s somewhere. Yeah. That's not realistic. You're putting too much on Patrick Mahomes that way, and I think because of that too, sometimes he doesn't make some of the routine plays we're used to make because he's going, I got to do something. I got to make something happen. All right, on the flip side, I think you made the point of the night on our halftime show. You said it back in our room when we were kind of game planning what to do. But you said, feels like the Eagles have kind of stolen the Chiefs' thunder as far as we just know how to win and get it done in clutch time. And I thought that was awesome by you.
Yeah, I mean, when we look at the first 2 games for the Eagles, I don't think anybody walks away saying, yeah, man, they played like the most talented team in the league. Even though we feel like they have the most talent, it doesn't feel like they've played to that level yet. But it's all of the little things that you do and the big moments or the right moments that it needs to be done. Kansas City's driving. They're about to go ahead. Kelsey bops the ball in the air. Makuba makes the catch.
Yeah.
And now we're going down. And now the whole game is changing. This is a guy, he wasn't there. He wasn't on the Super Bowl team and none of that. But he comes in, and that's how it is. When you join a team like that, my times in New England, when young rookies joined our team, you get thrown into the middle of that, and everybody's talking about, this is what we do. This is how we finish. And you're like, this is how we finish.
Yeah.
And you jump right into us.
Right.
And I think you're seeing that with Philadelphia. No matter who, a free agent, a rookie, when you get there, they're starting to build that culture. And I know there's always outside things going on. Trust me, when I was in New England, there were a lot of outside things going on as well. Right. But in that locker room, you start to build something that each guy wants to be a part of, because you know at the end of it, there's a chance for greatness. And winning 1 or maybe 2 or 3, you start hearing that dynasty word, and that's what people want to chase.
I get that feel from them when we were on the field in the opener against Dallas. They felt a little New Englandy on the field. Like, hey, we're kind of good. We're going to start. We're not going to jibber jabber as much anymore. We believe in our locker. There's a belief in that football team. There's a toughness of that football team. I credit Nick Sirianni and the rest of the coaching staff with that too. Even saying all of that, right? Man, they frustrate me at times, the Eagles. I know they win the game. I get that. But I still sit here and just go, wait, we're too talented to only be throwing for 100 yards and Saquon Barkley 88 yards rushing the ball. Now, he had some moments, and they certainly controlled the line of scrimmage a little bit. But I guess what I get frustrated is they're capable of so much more. We know how much talent's on that offense. Sometimes they drive me crazy with how basic they are in their scheme. But either way, I know. I said it last year. So it's hard to argue with the results. It really is. They know who they are. They usually execute, like you said. And then when it comes down to big moments, they seem to be the team that makes the big plays right now, and the Chiefs have lost that magic, at least for right now. We'll see if they can regain it, but I feel like we're at a part here, and I had some people like during the week, like, what do you think of the Chiefs, right? And you know me, I've been Mr. like, I think Denver Broncos are going to win. And, well, they're not going to fall off already. I'm like, hey, last year was good, but, I mean, they were hanging on by a thread. I don't think the public sometimes, and I'm not trying to talk down to the homies or anybody like that, but, like, 3 years in the NFL is, hey, they won the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and then they won it last year. Like, you don't understand, 3 years is like a decade in the NFL for the normal human life.
This is my 3rd year out, and I think about how many new people are in different. My 3rd year away from New England. There's no one there that I played. Like, that's how fast it changes. There's nobody left in New England that won a Super Bowl. Like, the last Super Bowl was in the 2018 season. Like, everyone's gone.
Crazy.
3 years, all like that, it happens fast. And for older players, as you get older, 3 years ago, you could have still been kind of in your prime.
Exactly. That's the point.
Like,
that's exactly
all of that is real.
Travis Kelce was the best tight end 3 years ago.
That's
Chris
real.
Jones was the best D tackle in football 3 years ago. That is not the case anymore. Yep. That's not. And we've seen Travis Kelce, again, as awesome as he is, first ballot Hall of Famer, 2 games have 2 major mistakes. Not getting off the ball against the Chargers, hurting Xavier Worthy. He manned up and took the blame for that. And then, of course, he's gonna take the blame for not catching that pass. It was tight. I get it. He's running a little slant route from the slot. I thought he was a little late to get his head around, and then he had his hands backwards. And the ball pops in the air.
And that's where you want that ball to be thrown, though. If you're
protecting him.
You don't want it high.
Exactly.
You want it low.
You got somebody like Makuba coming in. You got to catch it. You're going to be able to cradle, take the hit, ball in the end zone, right? So Super Bowl rematch. Maybe more entertaining than the Super Bowl because the Eagles absolutely whooped the shit out of the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. But either way, on this one, it's still the same outcome, and there's still the same concern, I think, of the Chiefs here in Week 3. We'll see next week. It's Sunday Night Football, Giants and the Chiefs, like Devin said. Yo, homies, it's time to watch some games. That's right. We're on to the NFL season here with Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
Hit subscribe to get our weekly picks, Sunday night recaps after every game, and much, much more.
Thanks for watching. Peace out, homies. Remember, subscribe. Peace out.